See me winning. No more clouds, clear vision.
Good evening, good evening. We are in the building with Nigerian Afro beats artist as well as live streamer 2G.
What up? What up? What up?
Everything up 2G is always amazing to have a conversation with you. We got a new hot subject that we're going to be speaking on tonight, and that subject is women empowerment.
For sure.
A guy like yourself who naturally just attracts the ladies. I'd like to hear a little bit about what your definition of women empowerment is.
I feel like, women empowerment is just giving them another avenue to, create for themselves, giving them another outlet than, the norm these days. It feels like in 2026, everybody's lazy and they just want to, have their hand out. I feel like women have the earning potential to really, earn a lot and maximize if they put their brains to use. But, nowadays, man, everybody just want to use their body to make money. But I feel like that they could make way more, if they, put their brain to use, And even if you don't have a skill or you didn't go to school, man, you got your credit. You could use your credit. With the credit system, they're giving you a lot of money, and which you could invest in business and make your own money.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: where do you think the decisions are coming from these women, within these women, to utilize their bodies rather than their brains?
I feel like it's just a trend, man. I feel like people don't use their brain. People don't want to be creative, and people don't want to put the work in. So they just go with what the celebrities are saying, or the influencers are doing and saying. They just go with it, like, oh, this person is doing it this way, or that person is doing it this way, so I'm gonna do it the same way. So I just feel like that's where it's coming from. Like they just not, they don't have the tools. They don't know which avenues to go, so they just following what they think everybody else is doing.
Let me ask you this: do you think some of these women are making a decision based on the relationships that they're in with men, and the men are suggesting that they use their body rather than their brains in order to make money?
I definitely feel like it's a lot of that going on. They under the wrong tutelage or under the wrong guidance. Even the men, a lot of these men, they don't know another avenue. They just know, the fast way.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it works, but 9 times out of 10, it's only going to lead you into, more destruction. So, um, right now I'm creating another avenue, which is the women empowerment movement,
Mm-hmm.
to show them a different way to get to this money in a more secure way. You don't have to degrade yourself. You don't have to go through, the ringer. And at the end of the day, leave with nothing.
Right.
Right now you could invest in yourself, and, the bag is definitely there, man. The bank is giving a lot of money out, and you could, get that money and invest in. If you don't have a skill, you could invest in, Amazon business. You could invest in trucking. You could invest in so many different avenues where you could get legit money from, daily money, and secure your future.
Okay, well, I noticed a lot of guys they have programs for women, but those programs are for a specific type or a specific look of woman. What type of woman would be qualified to be in your women empowerment program? Does she have to look a certain way? Does she have to be the ultra pretty girl, the petite, the curly haired girl? Or can any woman that is just basically looking to empower themselves qualify for your program?
Yeah, it's for anybody, man. Like the credit system don't look at what you look like. You know what I mean? Like, business doesn't look at what you look like. Money doesn't look at what you look like. So for
That's
sure, it's for everybody. As long as you want to do better, we'll show you how to do better, and you can elevate.
Well, that's good to hear, because it just seems like a lot of women. There's such a big sector of very creative, very beautiful women who are being left out of a lot of things because they might not have the right weight or the right look that is attractive to the guys who are really, having these different programs available, and they don't qualify based on their aesthetic. But guys aren't looking at the brain capacity of some of these women. Somebody that I'd like to give a shout out to is Shaq. and he just signed an artist, a female artist. I didn't even know she was his artist. I just started listening to her, and I thought she was amazing. And she is just totally dope. And I like to see that. I like to see all women being included, because you leave out a lot of opportunity, not only for the women but for yourself, passing over women because they don't have the BBLs and all those things that are attractive to the men.
Yo, you know what's crazy? A lot of people don't realize that their credit is the only thing standing between them and real opportunities. I'm talking apartments, cars, business funding, even peace of mind. And the truth is, most people were never taught how to actually fix it. That's where Grace Group comes in. They don't just repair your credit, they help you understand it. They help you clean it and position you to actually get funding, personally or business wise. If you're getting denied or you feel stuck financially, this might be the move you've been waiting for. And right now, they're doing something crazy. The first 10 people who sign up get 50% off of their services. All you got to do is use that promo code 2G. And if you're serious about leveling up your situation, here's the information right here. Email gracegroup@gracegroupenterprise.com. The website is gracegroupenterprise.com, and the phone number is 833-290-5017. Stop letting bad credit hold you back. Start putting yourself into the position to win. Let's elevate, y'all. Let's go.
Let me ask you this: what type of woman do you look for, or are you interested in in this day and time of
That's an interesting question. I gotta sit up for that. No, but you know, I've built myself to where I am today. And obviously I'm still growing. But one thing I definitely look for is somebody that wants to grow, somebody that's ambitious, that doesn't just have their hand out.
Mhm.
I have a saying, you come with your hands out, you don't stand out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
everybody is coming with their hand out. But what do you bring to the table? You don't have to necessarily be a millionaire, coming to the table. But if you come with a brain that's willing to learn
Mhm.
and ambition, wanting to grow, that's bringing something to the table for me.
Mhm.
Because I could show you how to make six figures or more.
Mhm.
That's easy. I want somebody that I could build with, somebody that wants to build, not just come in with your hand out. So my thing is, I have a saying like, I want a woman that's making six figures or more, or that wants to make six figures or more. Because if you already making six figures or more, we could really build. And if you want to make six figures more, that's the only way we could build. Even if you're making three figures, four figures, I could get you over six. I have the knowledge, I have the tools, and I have the, backing, especially with the credit repair and
Mhm.
funding company, Grace Group Enterprise Credit Repair and Funding. We could get you elevated, and that's the only woman that I could see myself with. It's somebody of ambition, somebody that wants to elevate.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Let's say a woman signed up for your program. Give me the first 3 steps that you would do in order to get her into the direction of being empowered under your program.
Well, it starts with a conversation. It starts with a conversation, and that conversation is going to evaluate your mindset. If you have the mindset of growth, we'll check that off. That's great. And then we're going to evaluate your financial situation.
Mhm.
Wherever your financial situation is, we could work. I could work with you. But you just gotta have that mindset of growth, wanting
Mhm.
more, and not just wanting the norm, which is handout.
Mhm.
I bring nothing to the table but my beauty,
Mhm.
and giving me the money.
Mhm.
Life doesn't work like that. It might work with some people, It might work with some people for sure. But I guarantee you're not building with it, because once that situation gone, you on to the next one,
Mhm.
and it's just gonna be a revolving door. But when does that door close? When do you have your own?
Mhm.
So that's what we are creating, and we want to create an avenue for you to have your own.
Okay, so let's say they all those boxes check off, and now we're getting to the actual program. Step 1 of the program would be what?
That, like I said,
No, 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 not. I'm not talking about the intangibles. I'm talking about the tangibles, the things, the stuff that would be the steps of the program. What
okay.
would the first step of the program?
Step one is 100% sure is building your credit.
Okay,
Building your credit to where it looks attractive to the bank.
okay,
And when your credit looks attractive to the bank, that takes about 90 to 120 days. Get you attracted to the bank. Now, it's like going in a club. You're attracted to everybody looks at you and you look attractive, you look valuable. So now things is coming to you. So once your credit is attractive, then things start coming to you. Funding, money start coming to you.
Okay.
And once that money come, if you don't know what to do with it, I put you into the business line.
Okay.
Okay, you have 100,000. I don't know what to do with it, Capo. So, do you have any options? I have a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
Options that's automated or options that you may have a skill. You may be a beautician, a cosmetologist. You got the money now to open your salon. I have the connections in China to where you can get hair, whatever product it is.
Mm-hmm.
You get set up that way. So it's either you have idea of what you want to do, or if you don't, we could definitely put you down on it.
Well, I feel like that's something that's very unique because a lot of guys are not looking to empower women. They would be totally intimidated by a woman who is empowered because the word empower comes from power. Not a lot of guys like women with power. And just as an example, there's a female. She owns her own food business in Portland, Oregon. Keish, I believe her name is. People come from all over the country to get her food. Right? She has an internet presence. She's super dope. She's kind of she's not the kind who lets her body hang out. She kind of dresses like the girls from the '90s. She recently got into a relationship with a guy. Within a few weeks, he was already trying to change the way she dressed and change the person that she is. Mind you, he came with nothing, but she has, like she said, all her cars take premium gas. She's very successful business. She has the jewelry, the money, the business, the cars, everything in life. But this guy who had nothing, who came into her world, who didn't even, supposedly like to talk, but being around her, all of a sudden he wants an Instagram page. So I feel like a lot of guys, they think they want that woman who is successful, but when they get her, they become intimidated by her. What would make a guy like you not be intimidated by a woman who's already powerful when you meet her?
So this is the thing. Power doesn't intimidate somebody that knows how to handle power.
Mm-hmm.
Power doesn't intimidate somebody that's already powerful. And I'm not the type of guy that wants to dumb you down or control you. I'm the type of guy that wants to elevate you, because guess what? If I have a relationship with you and we have kids and something happens to me, what are you gonna do? Now you're gonna go back to the having your hand out. What are you gonna teach my kid if something happens to me, God forbid? What are you gonna teach my kid? To have their hand out? That's not the structure that I came from, and that's not the structure that I want to put forward to anybody or any situation that's around me. I need to empower anybody that's around me, because that's the only way that we could elevate and grow and build together. Powerful people hang around powerful people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know no powerful person that wants to hang around weak people.
Right.
Because guess what? That weakness is only gonna draw from your strength.
Mm-hmm.
No, we want to grow more strength. We want to
Right.
grow. We want to grow more power. That's what we want to do.
So let me ask you this. Let's say the woman knows more than you. Are you willing to learn from her and let her take the lead and teach you how to become more powerful?
That's the wonder. That's a wonderful question, and that's one thing about myself, about my character, that I love. I'm always looking for more knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know everything. I'm always looking for more knowledge. So if you have or know something that I don't know, let's talk about it. I want to learn.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's anybody in this world that knows everything.
Right.
Knowing something is great, but knowing more is better, because now you could do more. You can only do what you know. So if you know more, you could do more.
So you consider yourself a high value man, am I correct?
100%.
What are some of the things about yourself that you feel makes you a high caliber gentleman?
Because of my knowledge and
Mm-hmm.
because of my want for growth.
Mm-hmm.
And growth is not just financial.
Right.
Growth is in every aspect, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I want to grow. Um, and I want the people around me to grow. So I feel like that alone is high value. I have I have morals. I have a strong moral compass. I don't settle for anything.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll just sum it up like that.
Okay, me personally, I have to have a woman in my life that is she got to have God first.
100%.
How do you feel about a woman who is not first with God?
She cannot. I can't lead her because she would not. She's not submissive to anything.
Hmm.
If you're not submissive to God, then how you gonna be submissive to me?
Let's say you dated a lady who had children. She's cooking dinner. You're there. Her kids are there. Who does she feed first?
Real structure is you're gonna feed me first. You're gonna feed me first because I'm bringing the food to the table, so you gotta feed me first. But we're all eating at the same time. But the way it goes, you lay my plate first. You put my plate first on the table.
Okay. Well, I personally feel the opposite of that. I feel like any woman that puts anything before her kids other than the Lord Jesus Christ, I definitely couldn't. I couldn't take them serious because I could be gone today and her kids gonna be still there tomorrow. That's just my personal, and that's where I was taught. God first, kids, then relationship. And I have personally seen some women that I really thought I was going to rock with, and then they just blew it with that one thing. Don't feed me before you feed your kids. I'm just that kind of way. However, people have their own opinions of that, and the Bible does depict, what you said. And,
I mean, but if you look at it like this, the hierarchy goes God and kids.
right. But, and like I said, I'm not saying your answer is wrong. It's just, my own personal way is I feel like a woman should always uphold her children over anything because relationships come and go. Kids are going to stay forever. Um,
So if now, let me just correct you real quick.
mhm,
Now, if it's a situation where I just would just start dating,
mhm,
then I was flip that order.
mhm.
But if it's a situation where we solid, I'm leading the family. Oh yeah, you gotta follow that structure.
There's no wrong answer on that. It's just a personal preference. Okay, let me ask you this: you have a woman and she's a six-figure woman. Would you prefer her to be a six-figure woman with a boss, or would you prefer her to be a six-figure woman who runs her own company?
Great question again, man. So I'll put it like this: if you're following my guidance, you're not gonna have a boss.
Period.
If you following my guidance and you really bought in, even if I met you six figures with a boss, you're not gonna, a year into this relationship, you're not gonna be six figures with a boss. You're gonna be, six, seven figures, your own boss.
Let me ask you this: a lot of women they end up being in relationships based on aesthetics of a guy, and then once they get to be with the guy, they start realizing that the guy is nothing that he presented himself as. And I've been knowing you for a long time, and I know you've been the same way. You've always had your own. You've always had nice things, the everything that most of these girls look for in a man. However, you're not out there available. How does a woman who is looking for a high value man, where do they find guys like you at?
I don't know, man. Like I go places, but I'm not the flashy type. I'm not always, you know, I'm not putting I don't put my accomplishments or whatever on Front Street
Hmm.
because it's gonna attract the wrong energy.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's a trial and error thing, man. Because there's a lot of people. I think people today, women in general, are looking for what's flashy.
Right.
That's what attracts them. 9 times out of 10, the right man is probably doesn't come in that package. He doesn't come flashy or whatever. And if he does, then now you got to pay attention and listen to what he's talking about.
Hmm.
If he's talking about growth, if he's talking about, building, then he's probably the right guy. But if he's talking about, just partying and lifestyle and this and that, then he doesn't have much to offer. But you know, a good time.
Okay, we all see a lot of women. The internet, affords us to be able to see women of all, walks of life, all statures, all financial levels. Give me three women that you've seen on the internet or just in life who would be attractive to a high value man, someone that you feel like that you could, add to what they already have going on as far as being empowered.
That's a good question, man, because I don't know, man, because the internet is just what it is. It's
Mhm.
just face value. I don't really know these people. So I can't really name women that, you know.
Well, who do you see that you could be attractive to enough to say, hey, she has a lot going on, but I know with someone like me, I can enhance her power and make her even more powerful.
I think I could enhance anybody's power because enhancement, when we talking about um enhancement of power, we talking about you got resources. Now my mind works and how can we make those resources make more?
Hmm.
You know, that's always my mentality is how can we make, this is what's on the table. How can we double it? How can we flip it? How can we triple it? That's always my mentality. So any woman that already comes with something, we always gonna make that something else and more and more and more. So I don't know. I can't say one woman specifically because I don't know 'em. I don't know 'em. We gotta sit down, have a conversation, see where your mind is at and see how we could enhance that. And it goes both ways. She could enhance my mind because of whatever experience she's attained
Hmm.
or acquired. So,
Okay.
I can't say one woman specifically because then I'll be like,
Let's ask for three, not one.
yeah, I don't even know. I don't like all I know is like the celebrities and all of them, but they have a craft, they might have a talent, and all they're using is that talent. So if I get with a celebrity, she obviously comes with a talent, which is bringing her income. But as we all know, you can't be hot forever. So that income, we got to make it, put it into business,
Hmm.
make more money. That's my mindset.
So, as far as a woman being a women empowerment, I mean, are you looking at women who are our way with no knowledge of lifting themselves up, or are we looking at women who may have a little bit of a lift, but just may need to have the information on how to really get to the top? Which one would you prefer to be in your program?
I would prefer the woman that wants to elevate. So it depends. It doesn't matter if she comes with little to no knowledge or she comes with some knowledge. At the end of the day, she wants to get to a destination and I can help her get to that destination. Um, Obviously to, to be in a program, you have to have some kind of money,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to, I'm not financing your rebuild, your credit rebuild and, your position. You have to finance that yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have some kind of money in order to grow. Takes money to make money.
How can these women get in contact with you if they decide, hey, I like what he's talking about? Because there's going to be a lot of women that's liking what you talk about. There's not a lot of guys out here who's looking to empower women. Most guys are looking to have sex with the woman, go to the club or show her how to be on the OnlyFans, those type of things. Not a lot of guys who are looking to, focus on the brain power of a woman. How can these women get in contact with you and see if they even qualify for the program that you're putting forth?
I mean, you can hit me up on my Instagram. Just hit my DM at officially 2G. That's probably the best way to hit me up without me giving you disclosing my number. But yeah, Instagram will be the best way, and then we'll have a conversation and have an evaluation session and see exactly where you at and where you want to go and how we could get you there.
Okay, I know you have various talents. Do amazing music. You dress nice. You work out. Tell us something about yourself that people don't know that would be surprising to women.
That'll be surprising, man. I'm very passionate, man. I'm very passionate and I'm very loving and caring. I think that my exterior doesn't show that. Um, I don't put my personality on Front Street either, so you gotta get to know me. But yeah, I think I'm very passionate. I'm very loving. I'm caring. I'm understanding. Yeah, you just gotta get to know me, man, because I don't give my time to everybody. I don't give my time to everybody. And I've been in situations where, I gave my time to and gave my energy to did not, that was not beneficial. Every relationship, friendship, whatever it is that I surround myself in now, it has to be mutual, you know. We gotta grow together. That's it.
Well, let me tell you something about yourself that I personally know. Ladies, he's a good cook.
Okay, yeah.
He's a good cook, ladies. Okay, so well-rounded gentleman, looking to empower women rather than to tear women down. That is a hot commodity these days and a very rare commodity. Um, Let me ask you this: if you, let's say, the right woman comes along, she has everything that you can possibly dream of in a woman. Are you possibly open to maybe marriage if she wanted to go in that direction?
Yeah, for sure. I think that I have my own rules about that.
Hmm.
Um, I could get married for sure, but it's just not gonna be in the courthouse.
Right.
Yeah,
You want the
I
big, the
I,
big
I
wedding.
believe that marriage is a spiritual thing,
Hmm.
so I'll get married in a spiritual way.
Okay.
That's the only kind of connection. I'm very deep. I'm a deep thinker. I'm spiritually inclined. So if we're gonna have a union, we gotta take it to that in that spiritual way.
Hmm.
I don't believe in just doing the traditional courthouse marriage and oh now we married. Nah. That's where um my views differ from a lot of people's views when it comes to marriage. But it's a lot of steps before we get to that marriage, man. Like it's a lot for me to be committed to one woman or to a woman, period. We gotta go through a lot of steps of knowing each other and really understanding each other before we even ever talk about marriage, you know.
How long in your world, in the 2G world, how long does that, how long would something like that take? I know there's like no time that you can really, some, you can meet somebody today and tomorrow you feel like, oh my God, this person is everything I can think of, and in your mind will tell you that, but we both know that it just not that kind of way.
Mm-mm.
How long do you need to know a woman before you even start thinking in that direction?
I think that time varies based on if that woman is coming to me as herself, then the process will go quicker. But, 9 times out of 10, people come with their representative, with their assistant, their,
There are all the
caregiver.
walls you got to break down to get to
Yeah,
the
you
real them.
gotta break
Right.
so many walls down. And then when you get to that real person, they're way different than who you met before.
Right.
So it just depends on how deep we get and how many hurdles of life that how many challenges that we're able to scale. Because I think that when challenges arise, we get to know somebody deeper.
Okay, let me ask you this: single mothers, she's doing well. She has her kids are doing well. They're thriving. They're doing what kids are like to do, sports and doing well in school. And you're very attracted to her. You see, she has all the things that you would like to have in a woman. In what kind of way could you empower a woman on that in that area? A single mother.
Well, if the kid's father is not involved, and she would be empowered by my assistance stepping in to lead the kids and teach them the tools, give them the tools.
Mhm.
The kids need a man's perspective, so that's empowering for her already. Obviously, business wise, mentally, physically, emotion, just in every aspect. I feel like I have a lot to pour in somebody's cup in all those aspects, and I think that that's very empowering.
Yeah, I think so too. So you would be the kind of guy that would come in and be at the games and teach the sports and sit at the table, help them with the homework and all that kind of way.
Yeah, I pride myself in doing that, man, because I got a kid on my own, and I don't want to. I think creating businesses that could operate without my physical being there would create more time for me to give to the kids. And
Hmm.
time is everything because time with it, they're learning, they're seeing the way you move, the way you operate, and they like to emulate what they see.
Right.
So I feel like creating that time, they say time is money, man, and I don't take that lightly at all. I want to have as much time as possible where I don't have to be in somebody's office and taking time away from the kids.
Well, ladies, you have it right here, Mister 2G. Not many of these guys around that's going to try to enhance you, advance you, and make sure that your life is propelling in the right direction. So you can find him at officially
Officially 2G.
2G, and yeah, make sure you tune in because this is another conversation that we're going to continue. Like this is something that we can talk about probably for a few episodes because I think it needs to be out there that there are men on this planet who are looking to build and empower women rather than to tear you down and to, look at all your flaws and use them against you in that type of way. So, ladies, tune in to Officially 2G. We got more to speak with them about. We're going to be back next week with another segment. So make sure you stay tuned for more talk on empowering women on the weekly recap with Capo 2G.
I had a dream. 2G. I see me winning. No more clouds, clear vision.